at another man. He was never arrested for this. And then a year later, in August 2024, he allegedly assaulted a police officer at Bait Bridge. He was arrested for this. He appeared in court once, he got bail, and then he vanished. He did not come to court anymore. He just disappeared, and there is a warrant of arrest for him for this case. According to an exclusive report by News 24 today, Wednesday, March 4, Bellarmine is in serious trouble. Things are looking very ebongweni maximum prison for him. So let's get into it. News 24 reports that Bellarmine's criminal charges just keep expanding every single day. Let's start with the charge of pointing of a firearm. According to the report, this case allegedly happened in 2023, and the details of which will be presented in court when Bellarmine and his bodyguard Tobias Matonje appear in court again for bail application tomorrow on March 5. They say the case was opened by the victim at the Brimley police station. They say Bellarmine was never arrested for this because he simply disappeared. The police could not arrest him, and the case was just closed just like that, with the police stating that they could not locate the suspect. And then there's a new case that was opened in February against him, also at the Brimley police station. This is the case that he allegedly pointed a firearm at a man at the Zone Mall in Rosebank. The man says this happened in February, just a week before Bellarmine was arrested. The man says he has CCTV footage. He says he got it from the mall, and he opened the case shortly after Bellarmine was arrested at his home in Hyde Park on February 19.
Melinda, view camera. Where's the other one? Car is full, cheap. The car is full. Okay, you're missing the good shots. They're coming out, guys. Melinda, alaikum. No, they're going to the other side of the house. Sure.
Then News 24 reports that in August 2024, Bellarmine was stopped while traveling. He was stopped at a roadblock in Bait Bridge in Zimbabwe. He then allegedly got into an altercation with a police officer. He allegedly assaulted the police officer. He was arrested, and then he appeared at the Bait Bridge Magistrate Court. He was granted bail. Bellarmine then allegedly did not show up in court for his next court appearance. He simply vanished. The court then issued a warrant of arrest for him, and he was just never arrested again for this. We also covered the case of how he was arrested last year in June 2025 for allegedly assaulting a security guard at the Mazoe mine in Zimbabwe. He was granted bail of $200 for this case, and this case is still pending. Now fast forward to February 2026. We are here in Johannesburg at Bellarmine's Hyde Park home. He allegedly assaults a gardener. The gardener is 23 years old, and as it stands, he's currently fighting for his life in hospital. He was allegedly shot twice in the back while he was trying to flee the home when he was shot. Bellarmine and Tobias were arrested for this, and according to a report by City Press newspaper, it appears that Bellarmine is in South Africa illegally. And his lawyer, Snenhlanhla Mnguni, says they are aware of these other charges that are being added, and they will deal with them in court.
And one related to possession of a firearm.
Yeah, look, we can't speak too much on that at this stage. I mean, it's something that's only just been brought to our attention. We still need to take instructions from our client. As the prosecution stated, the investigations from the SAPS are still ongoing. So we're still waiting for those to be finalized so that we can then, of course, consult with our client, take instructions, and then take the necessary steps in order to deal with our client's matter.
Do we know what the delay was relating to the bail application not going ahead today? Yes, sometimes you don't have a bail application going ahead on the first appearance, but from what you know, police are still doing some verification, I understand.
Yes, it seems that they still need to approach the Department of Home Affairs and other agencies in order to verify a number of things incidental to the statuses of the accused. Of course, we can't really go too deep into that because we don't know the nature, say for what was stated in court, what the nature of those inquiries are. So yeah, I think we're just allowing them to, at this stage, continue with their investigations.
Sorry, can I ask, are the suspects related, and does he still maintain that he didn't shoot the victim?
Look, we can't at this stage speak on that.
So, do you know the status of the guy who was shot in this case? Do you know whether he's still in hospital or anything? Have you been informed?
I have no idea, and I don't wish to comment on that either. Psychological, how are they taking? Psychologically, again, as I said earlier to your colleague, I don't really establish the facts with regards to the psychological state. I'm not an expert in that field, so I can't really comment or tell you how they're doing psychologically.
Do you know anything about the guy who's at the hospital that he's cooperating? He wants to drop the case against the two?
Nothing of that sort has been brought to my attention. So, no, I do not know about that. The prosecution certainly hasn't communicated that to us.
Oh, hi guys, we're here with Zimka Spot 11. And as you can see, it's actually 11 here. Your name's Aiden, huh?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Nah, I'm happy. Nice to meet you. What's up, Gina?
Benjamin has his father's looks, but one thing that I really want him to do is to concentrate more on his studies. And I remind him that you are probably what you are because of one person. We are in the status because of your father. So I don't want you to ride on your father's back for, all your life. I want him to change his ways and work hard. He's quite a clever boy, yes, but he likes to play games all the time.
Which games?
Sleep late. I don't know. I don't even know what he does. I used to, I avoid going to his room because I don't want to be disappointed.
How much time would you say do you spend on PlayStations and games? How much on study? 50-50, 60-40?
You must balance the time.
85-50.
Which one is the 85?
The game.
How many minutes did you say? 85%. 85%. Okay. Be honest. On games,
He says
85% on games. Of his time.
Is it pressure for you? Do you feel a bit under pressure because Robert Mugabe's son, he's an intellectual. Do you feel like I've got to live up to my dad's yes. And do you see that as pressure?
Not exactly. I know that since he was smart, I can be smart again.
Because you've got his genes.
So like, both of my friends are smart, so there's no way I can be dumb.
He's a smart cookie.
So as it stands, Bellarmine and Tobias are expected to appear in court tomorrow, March 5. And yes, the gun is still missing. And all these other charges are expected to be added to this case. What are your thoughts?
Electricity, and also the defense indicated it had not yet received some crucial documents in order for it to go ahead with the bail application. You would know that both the accused Balamin Mugabe as well as Tobias Matonze have been in custody since they've been arrested. This was at the home of Balamin Mugabe, in fact the residence where his gardener is alleged to have been shot. We do understand that the gardener is still in hospital at this particular stage. You'd recall during the last postponement that the defense was still waiting for documentation pertaining to what the status of Balamin Mugabe and his co-accused is in the country. It seems that those documents have not yet been furnished to his legal team, hence the postponement of this bail application to Thursday. In last week's appearance, one of the main bones of contention was exactly that, was to establish the status of Mr. Mugabe in the country. Is there any further information relating to that, Snemfansa, that you've received, which might perhaps change the course of your bail application?
Not at this stage. I think we haven't been furnished any further particulars, but we will in due course be in receipt of the complete set of facts surrounding that particular issue so we can take instructions and then we can then plot a way forward with our client.
But also, it seems the Mugabes have brought in the big guns when it comes to legal teams. Advocate Lawrence Hodes, SC, has been roped in to deal with the bail application, which is scheduled to sit on Thursday. All the charges that they're facing at this particular stage is that of attempted murder, defeating the ends of justice. This is related to the missing firearm and also possession of firearm, and also allegations that there may have been a breach with regard to, or a contravention by Balamin Mugabe of the country's Immigration Act. So we're still waiting for further details on that. Once the defense is in possession of those documents and other documents which they say are crucial before they can continue with the bail application, we'll certainly get an understanding of what the way forward will be. However, the bail application itself has been set down for Thursday. Criselda Lewis, SABC News at the Alexandra Magistrates Court.
Or reportedly examining evidence that the man was shot in the back while attempting to flee the property. If true, that changes everything, because a gunshot to the back tells a very different story than an accidental discharge during a fight. According to reports, after the shooting, it was not someone inside the mansion who first contacted authorities. Instead, a security guard at a neighboring residence allegedly called the police. That detail is now raising new questions. Why didn't anyone inside the property immediately report the incident to police? And what exactly happened in the moment after the gun was fired? Balamin Tatunga Mugabe is currently facing multiple charges in South Africa. The primary charge is attempted murder. In addition, because the firearm used in the shooting has still not been recovered, he is facing a charge related to unlawful possession of a firearm. There is also a charge of defeating the ends of justice connected to the disappearance of the weapon. The missing gun remains the most critical piece of this case. Police recovered a spent cartridge at the scene, but without the firearm, forensic testing is limited. Investigators are reportedly analyzing trajectory, wound position, and witness statements. And if medical findings confirm the injury was to the back while fleeing, that could significantly impact the court's view of what happened. Meanwhile, another issue has surfaced. Reports indicate that authorities are reviewing whether Balamin was in South Africa legally at the time of the incident. If immigration violations are confirmed, that could trigger an entirely separate legal process, independent of the shooting case. For now, the matter has been postponed for a formal bail application. The court will soon decide whether he remains in custody while the case proceeds. At this stage, there are still two competing narratives. One claims the gun discharged during a struggle. The other suggests the victim may have been shot while trying to escape. Only forensic evidence and courtroom testimony will determine which version becomes the official truth. As always, all suspects are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But with the new allegations emerging, this case is no longer just about a missing gun. It's about what happened in those final seconds and whether someone was running for their life. Stay tuned for further updates as this story continues to unfold. You can also check out the previous episodes covering this story on my channel. The links are in the description.